Oh, I see you in the chat. Hello, guys. How is everybody tonight? Oh, Natalie Archer. I love Jon. Didn't know of him until now, and now I'm hooked. I
Mm,
know. This is Jon Chrymes. Is that how you say that?
yes, it's
Like, I know it's
crime.
not your last. I knew that wasn't your last name, but yeah. And I just want to say first, thank you so much for doing this with me. He does videos on true crime, but it's different. He adds like an artistic element to it, and you can see. I mean, I can see in your videos, your whole heart is there, and I love that. That's one of my, you know, favorite things about you. Also, you're just so entertaining, but.
Thank you. I think I'm going to put this
Um,
up. I'm afraid that you playing in my speaker is going to make you sound doubled. So just so I can hear you without like doubling up on your voice, I'm going to put my headphones on. Is that good?
yeah, that's fine. Mine have every time I've tried to wear them for a live, they've been making funny sounds. So I guess we'll
Mhm.
try to do it with me without them.
Okay, that's fine because I had my
Okay.
speaker loud, so I was like, okay.
So, do you want to tell us more about yourself? Like what brought you to YouTube?
Um,
What got you into the video editing type of all of it? Tell us some about yourself.
what got me into YouTube? I've always been on YouTube, so I've done other things on YouTube. Like I've done music. I put some of my short films on YouTube. I've discussed heavy topics on YouTube, and then from there, um, I was doing hip hop. I was writing articles for different magazines and for different websites, also for mixed martial arts. And at the time when I was doing that, I've always liked true crime. I was always watching true crime. I just didn't know that anybody did it on YouTube. It just never occurred to me. And I saw a woman by the name of Kendall Ray. She was doing it, and I watched. And I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, there's true crime on YouTube, and this is dope. Like, I like her format. I like everything that she was doing. So, um, I watched her for a while. I started watching someone by the name of Tiffany Renee. Had a much smaller channel, but I learned from Tiffany Renee just the fact that her channel was smaller. I would see the family members of the victims in her chats, and I think that kind of let me know, like, it doesn't matter the size of your audience. If you're going to talk about this is serious. This isn't play. This is for real. And I think from there, I kind of start asking myself what would happen if I did true crime. But then I thought, like, I don't want to bite from anybody else. I want to take. I feel like I don't want to like mess up what these women got going on, and I wasn't doing it before. I know that kind of sound kind of stupid or whatever. So I just went back to doing my own thing in hip hop for a while, and then one night I went live. And when I went live on my hip hop channel, they asked me like, "What do you do in your spare time?" I found that live the other day too. They asked me what I did in
Oh,
my spare
cool.
time, and I told them about true crime, and I told them like honestly, I watch it all the time. Like this is, and I gave them Kendall Ray channel, I gave them Tiffany Renee channel, and I think at that time I had started watching Danielle Holland. I gave them her channel, and I said, either I'm watching Investigation Discovery, I'm watching, Forensic Files or something like that, and I'm watching these people on YouTube. So then about another 8 months passed, and then I found somebody by the name of Stephanie Harlow. Had a really, really small YouTube channel. And when I saw her, I was like, man, she's really, really good. She's really good. Um, I would never have believed she was new and had such a small channel. So I remember my first comment on her page. I was like, "You're gonna be big. You're gonna be huge. I can already tell." And then so from watching Stephanie Harlow, she went live one night, and I was in her live, and she started saying what she did for a living, how busy she was with children, parenting, being a wife, and the career field she said that she had. I was in that career field, and once I realized I was in the same career field, and this woman was able to juggle all of these things at once, I asked myself for the first time, well, what excuse do you have Like, why won't you do it for yourself? And then I had no excuses. I had nothing that left in me to say. So since I had no excuses, I made my first true crime YouTube channel.
What was your first video?
My first video I decided would be, and it's not on my channel now because there's some clips for copyright, so you have to watch it on Facebook. My second video is the first one on my channel now. It was the case on Sarah and Amina, these two girls who I think they're I guess you can say half American or and half Egyptian. Their father is from Egypt, and he did not like that his daughters were Americanized. He did not like that his daughters was dating American boys, and so he killed them. He killed his two daughters, and I saw this documentary that it really touched me, and I knew one day, if I ever did true crime, that would be the case that I would cover. It would be that case, which from doing that as my first video, I've become really familiar with everybody involved and became really close with one of the most prominent people involved in that documentary, and close with the people who made the documentary as well too. So it just shows you how quickly the world can change just for me doing that video for my first one.
Hmm. That's so interesting because I did the same thing where I started on TikTok, and I was like thinking one day my niece was always here doing TikTok, and I was like, I should do true crime on there. I had never seen it on there, and I didn't want to watch. I did my first video before I watched anywhere else just so I could, not, I don't know. I just wanted to do it genuinely from
Mhm.
myself. And then it went from there. But it is weird the way that, I mean, and I love it, but that you become really close with victims, the family, you become close with, friends of it. I've had so many people reach out and ask me to make TikToks on their loved ones who are missing or murdered and forgotten about. And I always do it. I mean, they don't get the most views. Obviously, it's always these popular cases, but these other cases are just as important. So I try to make sure I do a lot of those too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do as well. I don't know if it was so much on purpose at first, but even when I would cover a really big case, I would try to use it. Or if you go look at the top comment I will put on this huge case, I was like, um, if you like this video, pay attention to this crime, and I'll talk about a smaller case that isn't getting recognition. Or one time when I covered Chris Watts, I did an entire video leaning people, and the entire end of that video was a montage of smaller cases that were all done and covered by true crime YouTubers on YouTube, but they were smaller cases. So I've always
That's
tried to be a
awesome.
voice for people to talk about smaller stuff. But I really like what you guys are doing on TikTok. Sarah Turney was the first person I saw utilize TikTok to where she amassed a really huge audience, and it caused her people to take action on her case, and someone was arrested in her case just from her using TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm involved with a case now that I'm doing a documentary on, and one of the people involved, or one of the relatives of the victims, they were in the background silent, like you never heard from them. But once she heard about Sarah Turney, she heard about TikTok, she made her own TikTok, and now she's speaking out, trying to raise awareness for her sister's disappearance. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do, like with like information and stuff with the internet. I
Yeah.
mean, all these people together working on something, you can just achieve so much, you know?
Yeah. Yes, it makes the world seem really it makes it seem a lot smaller as you can really connect with anybody you want to on here, and it's up to you how you want to use these connections. And a lot of ways this has become really good, especially for getting awareness out for crimes.
Yeah, I could see that totally.
Yeah.
So the first video I saw of yours was Gannon Stalk. And I have some notes which I know what I want to say.
Okay.
It was so touching. I remember watching the video, and sending it to my mom and my sister-in-law. And they're not into true crime, but I knew that your video style, you don't have to be into true crime to get into it and feel like emotionally moved. It was just so, I love the way you like talk directly to Letitia, and then the way you like put yourself, talking about your divorce, and you just had a lot of empathy, which I think, a lot of people lack that these days. Empathy is, it's rare. So I love that. But I wanted to ask you, have you seen, like, did you see she went to court and she tried to act like she was crazy, for a lack of a better word, but it was to see if she was confident. Did you see she was like yelling and flipping the lights? And have you seen any of that?
No, I did not see it. I tend to wait a lot of times till everything is over with so I can absorb everything. But for what I'm hearing from you, you know, if you can't appeal to someone's heart or appeal to someone morally, you try to see can you appeal to people's logic. Um, she is trying to pretend to be crazy, I guess, to get off on this case. But that if you're trying to pretend something, more than likely you've never done this before. It's totally foreign. It's totally new to you, right? And now you have to go up against the government, which has unlimited funds to pay for any kind of psychologists and people that can test you. And they've spent their entire careers spotting and picking out people
Mhm.
that are being frauds and using this. So, and I think of that, and you asked me how I come up with my videos or what I mentioned in my videos, just thinking while I'm on live right now. That's sort of how I got my slogan, "Don't kill, make a sandwich." The sandwich representing not anything major. Major would be you shouldn't kill people because it's the wrong thing to do. You if you kill people, you're not gonna see your children, you're not gonna see your mom. Everybody knows that, but it's the simple things that you're gonna miss out on life as well. All Letitia had to do was take care of Gannon Stout while he was sick, and his father come home. She has a nice car. She has a nice neighborhood. She has a nice life. She can go down to that grocery store that she went to when Gannon was in her car. All of these things are taken away from her, and she shriveled down to being in a cage cell for the rest of her life, only being let out to try to pretend that she's some crazy person that she's going to fail miserably at. So it when I hear you say stuff like that, tell me what she's been doing, it just makes it more sad that Gannon lost his life because he lost his life for no reason at all.
I know. It's so pitiful. And you know what else? She's going to be representing herself. She had court the other day, and the judge really tried to like advise against it, but she told him, one thing she said was like, "I'm good at poker. You have to know when to hold 'em." And I'm good.
Hmm.
Like, she was singing a song, or quoting a song. Then she said that she was a professional, and she is representing herself, which I worry what that's going to do to the family and stuff. Actually, Landon is on TikTok, and
Hmm.
she has videos from her daily life. She talks about Gannon. I mean, we've kind of become friends, and she has a really inspirational page. If anybody, wants to see that, you should check it out. But I just worry what her representing herself. So she gets to ask Al and Landon and everyone whatever she wants, I guess. I don't know. I just
Hmm.
mm.
I,
I
I,
don't want
I,
it to be coming. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, you're fine. I was saying I expect a lot of objections, but I don't know. It could be kind of interesting. You want to pretend like you're crazy, but then you want to represent yourself of what that can do. This is stupid to me unless it's dealing with potentially setting up for a future trial. Why would a judge allow me to represent myself if I'm showing signs that I'm crazy? They keep, a second chance or, to have another trial. But, or it could be some crazy person. And I don't mean crazy, like for real crazy, like she's trying to make it seem, but just some dumb person who is trying to use every trick in the world not to spend the rest of their life in jail when you could have just let this boy, play his Nintendo Switch. It's just
Yeah.
it's sad, I never spoke to Gannon's mom, but within a week of me putting out my video, Gannon's mom shared it across her social media and it touched her. And you know, I was talking to somebody and it seems that my biggest videos are the ones that I don't really prep. Um I knew Gannon's case, but as far as prep work for the video, it was I'm going to turn on my camera and I'm just going to talk like I'm talking to Letitia. And as I'm talking to her, that will allow me the opportunity to go through his last days and every single detail. I didn't have any script or anything. It was probably one of the fastest videos I made. I didn't expect to get such a huge response from the video. I mean, I wanted it, but you just never know with these things. Um, and so I started to rely on my heart and how I feel rather than something that can be contrived um, by. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Some people are good at at writing and prepping it all the way down, but I know what I want to get out to people. I want you to really care. I don't want you to just grab your popcorn and eat it and watch a true crime. I want you to really care about everything involved and use these things to try to change how we are as a society. I really
Yeah.
want to touch people. I really want people to see the senselessness of all this stuff this woman got going on and how the whole country sees her. And you didn't even have to kill that little boy. You know,
That's what makes your videos so special. It is so genuine and like from the heart. It's, I don't know, it's like a whole emotional thing, each and every one of them. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, I heard you on a live the other day. You mentioned a Netflix documentary, and you had mentioned your friend Stephanie at the beginning of this, who I love. She is so smart and detail oriented. Just, I mean, I'm in awe every video I watch of hers. And if you ever want all the information, she is who to go to because she doesn't leave stuff out. But I was going to see if you wanted to talk some about that. I don't really know much about it, but I would love to talk about it, especially since it seemed like you felt it was important to kind of get awareness on it.
hmm yeah, I have a video coming out that I'm going to go over all of the details. But in a nutshell, Netflix just did a documentary on the Cecil Hotel. It's the number one documentary on Netflix, and knowing that my friend is in it, I would normally be happy, but it's scary that it's the number one documentary on Netflix, and she's in it, and there's a segment that kind of I don't know that makes her look bad in that. And whereas someone was harassed and someone was bullied as being potentially a murder suspect, and people online really came at this person hard, and they wanted to show web sleuth as what they called us, that we are a bad thing, and how we can get someone harassed who had nothing to do with it. You saw a little small taste of that in the documentary on Netflix called "Don't F with Cats," as if that Facebook group that was trying to find the killer, they harassed the man so much that he committed suicide. And the problem is the people that they had on the documentary are strongly against believing someone is guilty and sending lynch mobs and everybody at them. They use Stephanie Harlow, they use John Lorden, but Stephanie Harlow, when she covered this case prior to being on the Netflix documentary, when she covered it for her YouTube channel, she didn't even mention who the person was that got bullied. But just like with reality shows, I can ask you a question and I can set you up and cut it out to make it look a particular way. You may
Yeah.
not know who Winnie the Pooh is. Maybe you can tell me while you're hitting record. I don't know who Winnie the Pooh is. And then I can start naming some bad stuff about Winnie the Pooh. And then I can ask you, what do you feel about what I just said about Winnie the Pooh? And you can be like, wow, that's if that's true. And I can cut that part out. That's disgusting. That Winnie the Pooh is a horrible. And I can take only that segment of what you said and I can put that
Yeah.
into it and I can paint you any way that I want to fit my narrative. And it's just it's sad and it's unfortunate because for so many different ways, because if you are against people not having evidence to go and harass other people, well, now they are harassing her. They're sending death threats to her. They're trying to get her address. They're doing the most horrible things to her and saying that she's this vicious, horrible person. Um, when you're contradicting what you're saying, you're being a hypocrite. You're sending people out to harass and bother somebody without any evidence. So it's just something I plan to point out in the future.
Good. And I remember actually the Heidi Broussard case when everyone was claiming that Shane Carey was involved. I did not have my TikTok yet at this time, but I
Mhm.
watched Stephanie and I remember her telling people like do not jump to conclusions. Doing the exact opposite of what they're trying to make it seem like she does. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Mm,
Yeah. And the unfortunate situation is there's really nothing you can do about it. You have to just suffer because if I were to double the or quadruple the success I've ever had in one video, I get 250,000 views, which is not going to happen. But let's just throw that fantasy out there. I get 250,000, 250,000 views on the video, rightfully showing that Stephanie Harlow and John Lord and they didn't do this stuff. It's not going to matter because when we wake up tomorrow, 1 million more people will watch the Netflix #1 documentary.
mm,
And when we wake up the day after that, another million people will watch it. And of these millions of people, I mean, maybe 1% will even go to YouTube. And
yeah.
from that 1%, most of them are going to go, if they're going to look for the Stephanie, they're going to search her name to say something bad to her. They're not going to search her name to investigate and look at her channel and see, wow, this is completely different than what I thought.
Yeah.
So you just, you're screwed.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
a crazy way to look at it because it's kind of like you're helpless. That
Yeah,
sucks.
they got an apology. What's an apology in private from the producers if it's your producer telling you
Yeah.
in private one message, and then in reality, every day you wake up, you know, another million people watch it. So
Mm, that's horrible.
yeah,
Okay, another video I wanted to pick your brain on of yours was when the Shane Dawson stuff.
okay,
And see, I related to that so much because I thought he was this great guy and I loved his documentaries and like you said in your thing you said he makes like there could be nothing going on but he makes it seem like it's like so much going on and
yeah,
um then come to find out you hear all these things he said back before and I mean it's disgusting and our kids are looking up to this guy. I mean not just us,
hmm
our kids. So I wanted to see what you thought about that now,
about Shane,
about the
you
whole
know,
situation. Yeah.
I don't want to kill Shane, and I'm speaking metaphorically. I don't want to kill because if you just kill the person, means that what I mean when I say that is if Shane just disappears, I want to kill the mindset. I don't this follower mindset that when you like a human being, you start to like a human being more than you like your own principles, your own morals. I mean, you ever been around a person and I'll use something like, I don't know, they may say, yeah, I think onion rings are great. I like the way they taste. And then somebody they really look up to come around and they're like, oh, onion rings are disgusting. They're just gross. It's bad. And then the person who just said it's just show like sort of like shaking their head like, yeah, like you're changing what you feel because you're looking up to another person.
Yeah.
That mindset is like really, really dangerous. And that is what prompted me to make the video about shame is that I know that if Shane wasn't Shane, if Shane was just some guy you viewed and how you looked at horribly or like a monster, you would be disgusted by the actions you're hearing. You're changing because you like somebody else. And this is allowing people to be predators and say whatever they want to and do whatever they want to on the internet without consequences. So I wanted to lend whatever little voice I had to try to squash this. And I didn't think that that video would be big either, because even though Shane's name is big, I do true crime, and yeah, so many more like drama channels and makeup channels came at Shane. I didn't think nobody would care about mine, but a lot of people really gravitated toward my videos, and a lot of people in other communities use segments of my video and their video to call out Shane. um, this is what is wrong with the world, is that people were saying, they're saying how he can come back, or if he just waits 6 months or 8 months and then he make this video, he does this. And I'm just like, it's not about the person. What about what was done? What about what was said? Or we're showing what we would stand for in this country. So you can go out here, you can make a video, and you can say how, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with you performing a sexual act while watching a picture of a child if you are in the privacy of your own home. And what you're saying, if you forgive Shane, is however long it takes. If it takes 6 months, then you're saying that's only worth 6 months of you being banished, and you come back to making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, because those like with his cousin and his ex-girlfriend, some of that stuff was just so bad. And I
mhm.
wanted to ask you how you felt about cancel culture, or do you think that, it's more like accountability culture? But some things I just think people almost shouldn't be able to come back from unless they actually grow and change and like make amends. But I don't know how you
Mhm.
do that from that situation.
It's kind of a loaded, like it's really loaded and hard when you start talking about council culture. The biggest problem with council culture is when council culture is birthed from an accusation. I think that is horrible. Um, I don't. I mean, no one cares about the simple sentence. What if you're wrong? I don't really have a problem, just off the top of my head right now, council culture of someone that is convicted. Here is all the evidence. Here's what you've done. And also, this is subjective to what the evidence we're talking about. If we talk about council culture to a pedo, I won't say it on your channel, but the P word, then I don't care. I don't care about council culture. If you're guilty of that, and this is
Right.
the evidence, I don't really care what people say or do to you online like that. Um, I put on my Twitter the other day something that really shocked me, that Alyssa Milano said. I think the girl who used to play in Who's the Boss, um, and I think she's a very really strong political person. She's not in politics, but she always speaks on politics. But she said that guys that are accused of sexual assault, she just feels that they should automatically apologize. And that really scared me, because she said the word accused. And everybody cheered her on. Is like, what world do we live in if accused is a group of people, and in that group of people is included guilty people and not guilty people? They are both in the genre or in the realm of the word accused. Guilty people get accused, innocent people get accused. And from her statement, she's saying if you're accused of this, you should apologize. That's scary. That's the part of that's the prequel to wrongful counsel culture. You're already getting people riled up to go after people who you don't know have done anything wrong or not.
Yeah, that's scary. As a mom of
Hmm.
little boys, I think about, oh my gosh, what if a girl like says that just to get back at him, or just,
Yeah,
that's very scary.
yeah.
So one of your biggest videos and like that I really connected with was about the Chris Watts case.
Hmm.
People are obsessed with that case. I'm even obsessed with it. Like I think it's because I feel like Well, for one, it was so egregious and despicable the way he did what all of it. And then also when you feel like maybe possibly it's not everyone who was involved has been, it's not all out there, which I don't know what your opinion is on that, but you mentioned how you had decided you weren't going to talk about that case anymore. What made you come to that decision?
Things
And
get
what
different. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What was the second part?
and what changed your mind? Because you came back and did talk about it a little bit, but not much.
So the only reason I made a video was because of the documentary that came out. I'll give you some G Wiz information that I haven't said. The first Chris Watts documentary I was supposed to do with the family. The family was working with someone who I was cool with, and they had this person's trust with Chris, not Chris Watts' family, but Shanann Watts' family. And I would have used my production company to film it and do everything for it and stay close to it. And that relationship failed because of the person that was involved, which was not a good person. And I'm glad that it failed. I'm glad that they got to do it the way that they wanted to, with just the voices of the people involved. No narrator, no anything. It was Shanann Watts' family doing it the way that they wanted it done. So when that came out, like I do on other Netflix documentaries, like I'm about to do on the Cecil Hotel, I gave my opinion on just that documentary and used that in a way to get people to care about victims again. As far as the case
Right.
goes, I don't see any purpose of it. When you get really close to people, there may be a case you care about now, you don't know anybody involved. Once you start knowing the people involved and you start knowing their day to day life, you start knowing that, oh man, we don't have any more flour to make these I don't country's fried steaks tonight. I'm gonna go down to Kroger and get some flour. And on their trip to Kroger, somebody throw something at them, somebody spit at them, because they feel like they're the bad people. You know, Shanann Watts' mom is a bad person because they don't want people to talk about this case any longer. That's causing nothing but harassment for them on something that they feel that is settled. When you start seeing lynch mob after lynch mob come after Frankie Rusick, you start seeing people blatantly making money off of this with no care in the world. They have just realized that so many people love it. This will guarantee me views. When you start looking at it through that lens, then yeah, I wish that if people laid it to rest. As far as someone else being involved, or people talk about Nicole Kessinger being involved, and I don't go into conspiracy theories or anything. I just talk about real hardcore facts and evidence. There isn't a single shred of evidence that people should be harassing Nicole Kessinger to throw her behind bars. And if you want to be real with you, if a million people hate her because of she did infidelity, how many people in that million are doing infidelity? It's like it doesn't match the punishment involved. I'm going to harass you. I'm going to stalk you. I'm going to bother your whole life because without a shred of evidence, I personally feel you had something to do with it. I'm going to go watch true crime YouTubers that's going to talk about a pixelated bush that you can't zoom in any closer on. But if I keep talking about this pixelated bush, I know I'll get views. I know I'll get money off of. Like, if there's evidence to show this, then this person should be behind bars. But a lot of people say that they really love true crime. But if you really love true crime, you know that there's never been a case where someone has rotted in jail taking up for a woman that they love. It don't last long. It lasts. I think one case was in England. This guy was really, really in love with this woman, and they broke him in about 2 or 3 months. No one sits. And if you really looked into the Chris Watts case, you really realize how lucky he got, and he admit how lucky he got. It wasn't anything he did because of his intelligence. Chris Watts snitching on Nicole Kessinger, him telling on her, was when he said to the detectives, "Well, she's gonna say she didn't know I was married. She thought I was separated because she don't want to look bad." That's him snitching. If he's open to snitch, he's open to make her look bad. Then why is he gonna rot in jail and not say that she helped him commit the crime?
I
He's not
know.
that. you give Chris Watts too much credit. He's not very smart and intelligent. Nicole Kessinger, in my opinion, had nothing to do with it. If you mad that she messed around with a married guy, then I understand that. But if you really love true crime, like you say you love true crime, how many cases have you looked into due to infidelity? And of those cases, are you still stalking that person in that case?
Yeah.
That was, that committed infidelity. Why are you only doing it for this case? So that means that the key focus in your head really isn't the infidelity part, is that there's um another reason that you're stuck on the information and want to keep talking about it. And when I look at that pit against what I know, Shanann Rusek's family and Frankie and Sandy, all of them go through on a 7-day a week daily basis with people harassing them. I'm going to lean towards I want that family to have peace than someone trying to solve an itch on a possible second suspect that there's zero shred of evidence on.
Hmm. Thank you for that. I love that. I think that I love hearing your opinion. I don't know. It's so hard to let that one go for some reason. I don't know.
I
So
think
have
it
you?
could be. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I was going to move to the next question about it. So you go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I just think we care about people the more we are able to look at them in different moments. And Shanann Watts had a lot of recordings where you were able to look at her. And the more you look at those videos, and if you really watch the case, you pretty much seen all of her videos. It makes you care about her more than you would the average case. I get that. I get that in the second case that I covered with Caitlin Nicole Davis. She's the only person I know of any case that had as much videos as Shanann Watts, and a lot of people care about her. You just have to know that and understand that. And I guess if I can't see Sandy Shanann Watts hurting like that, her mom hurting like that, and then ask myself, why should I keep? What is so great of an outcome that can come off me to continuously talk about this? That this
Yeah.
woman could keep hurting. She should keep hurting, and I can't
Yeah.
justify that.
Mm. Have you seen that there are some YouTube creators who are starting like a nonprofit to try to fight to get him out? Have you seen some of that?
Nah, because there's no reason for me to look at it. He's not going to get out of jail. It was a very intelligent thing the DA did by stacking charge and life on life on life on life. He's not getting out of jail. He's never getting out of jail. There's nothing that's going to happen. If you obsess and look into anything, you can keep making excuses for something that you can think that this loophole matches up. He's never getting out of jail. So if I were to look in that, I just would be and speak about it. Also, too, Chris Watts killed his wife and he killed his 2 children and he dumped his 2 children in oil and he's locked up for the rest of his life. What the more videos I can make about that, the less videos I'm focusing on somebody else. Somebody's in my inbox saying, John, nobody cares about my uncle being murdered. My
Mm.
uncle was the head of our family. He was the nucleus. He held our family together. No one cares. No one's trying to find the murderer. And I'm continuously making videos about a case that's already solved. And there's another case, and that's not a made up an example. That is 100% real case that I'm working on right now with someone's uncle who was murdered, and the family reached out to me, and we just spoke last week on it. It's like there's other things out there. There's other things that we could be doing with our time than to talk about a closed case.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I get so sick of people saying that he didn't do it. It's just time to quit with that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, just stop. We know, I mean, blaming Shanann and stuff, creating entire YouTubes and Patreons on the premise of that, it's just despicable and disgusting. I think we're all here because we care about victims, and that is not helping them or their families at all, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. And that's such an interesting point. Thank you for that. Um, so the next one I have is that I wanted to talk to you about was your video on, this is another one that's getting a lot of people making repeat videos. Orrin and Orson West, the
Mm-hmm.
missing boys from California City. I love that video, and I have a few questions point by point throughout your video.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought, so they said that the boys were outside playing with chalk, right? Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever thought or considered what if Chalk was the dog? Because there was no drawings on the thing. And then I saw rumors online where people were like, I think that's their dog's name. Wouldn't
So
that be
the
interesting?
so that one little scenario is the whole nucleus of what I was talking about earlier, or like lynch mobs and people taking something without fact and just running with it. Um, I had my Orson, not yeah, my Cali City Boys video has more comments than any video on my channel ever. It doesn't even have half as much views as my most popular video. Has over less than like half views. So like, but it still has the most comments. This is after me having to delete rude and mean comments. It still has the most comments on any video I've ever made. So
Hmm.
many people cussed me out and called me names and was telling me I was stupid because the dog name is Chalk. They've taken a piece of information, they hear it from hearsay from another YouTuber, and they've gone and displayed it as fact. His name could be Chalk, his name could not be Chalk. But to them, it's fact because another YouTuber said it, so much so that they're willing to ride or die and run with this as if it's fact to put down another human being. That's the
Mm.
problem of what I was saying. This YouTuber was debunked because he saw like they called Chalk and the dog kind of barked or answered and they ran with it. That was the flimsy evidence that this could be a dog. There was nothing else. I'm not gonna call something in my video unless I know for a fact of what it is, and I don't know for a fact. I didn't hear, and it's funny. I didn't hear the dad and his wife of the two little boys say that my dog name is Chalk and the kids were playing with chalk in the background. I didn't hear that in no video, and they know that people are running around here saying it, and they still haven't come out. Nobody else in the family has come out and said anything about a dog being named Chalk,
Yeah.
but um. So is this is kind of like tricky because people when I talk about it they act like I don't want anybody to have an opinion. We're human beings. All of us got an opinion. All of us can hear a little piece of information in our mind and say I think such and such did it, or I think such and such didn't do it. You can't help that. You're a human being. But there's a difference between having an opinion than running to try to kill and hurt somebody based upon your opinion. And that is what I'm against because I don't have a problem waiting for a case to be solved or waiting for more information to come out on a case. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem saying I don't know. Like I think if there's no malice or evil intent involved, then you're jumping the gun a little bit. If there's evil intent involved, you're manipulating people, playing on their high strung, passionate emotions to elicit more views to your channel. I don't
Yeah.
know of any other way.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about people like getting all crazy over that. I just had saw the
Mm-hmm.
rumor and wanted your
Mm-hmm.
opinion on it. But I also wanted your opinion about that security footage. It did
Mm-hmm.
not show anyone in the backyard, any kids. It showed an adult, I think. It showed the dad. But I wonder about that because I don't know, recently the police put out a bulletin and said that Bakersfield was taking over the head in the case. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes you wonder. I wonder if it didn't even occur there. I mean, there's so many rumors online, and I will speculate, but I want to be clear when I speculate. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you're not going to put something as a fact if you don't know it. But I do want to pick your brain a little bit about that
Mm-hmm.
and see what you think.
So if this was a coffee mug, right? Like in real life, let's say I didn't have a YouTube channel in real life. I know everything about this case, right? And then all of a sudden, I look at my TV and I see a news report say that the Bakersfield Police Department is taking over the case. In real life, I would sip my coffee and I would say, and I walk away and go do something else. It would be within 1 second. So I go off how I feel in real life. I don't. Do I have an opinion about that? Yes. Can I make? Is it such big news that Bakersfield Police Department is taking over a case that I need to go out and go live for an entire hour because you have no new information except for the Bakerfield taking over the case, which takes about 15 seconds to say. You have no new information. So most of the time, if you go live, and you're gonna get a lot of people to join you because you're gonna play on people's emotions because they are invested mentally and emotionally. They're invested, so they're gonna run. They're gonna see you say shocking news. That's gonna get them. The third thing's gonna get them is gonna be the case. The Cali City boys, shocking news, and then hook, line, and seeker, a new police department taking over. So now you got a lot of people watching you. What are you going to give them for watching you? You're only going to say the Bakersfield Police Department is taking over the case. And after you say that, you're going to speculate on different things of what that could mean. I'm just saying how my brain works. I just typically those small things lead up to Bakersfield taking over. The police is digging in this area. All these things add up, and then sadly enough, they find a body, and sadly enough, they charge whoever did it, and you get the real evidence when court start. Just how I've done things, I just don't mind waiting. It may hurt my channel, may keep my channel from growing because I'm not jumping on the biggest headlines and all of this stuff. May keep my numbers low, but I'd rather my numbers be low than me being honest with myself and have integrity. Um,
Yeah.
now, do I have an opinion? Yeah, I have an opinion. I just it's not enough for me to go and just do a whole nother editing creation or big video on. It's just enough for me to wait. As far as the children on the security camera in the backyard, I didn't see anything that like you can see the whole full scope. They're gonna be a lot lower than than the parents are. And also, I look at when people say this is insane. Look at the evidence. Lock them up. Throw them under the jail. You have to look at other cases that it looks like the a person did it and they were completely innocent. It's not about the people involved. You don't want to arrest people on assumption or because you think something. Because if you can do it to that one person, you can do it to that person, that person, that person, that person, that person. Of all the people I
Yeah.
named, some of them are guilty, some of them are innocent. But if we just start doing it because we feel a certain way, because things look fishy, everything the guy said to me, in my opinion, looked fishy. It looked like somebody I wouldn't trust, but it just didn't look enough for me to go get all my subscribers and people who like Jon Chrymes to go after and attack him and say that, these people 100% killed their kids. I
Yeah.
think the closer it gets towards, how bad they look, the closer it looks to an arrest where we're going to get more evidence.
People go into their houses every day and,
Mhm.
go I don't agree with that at all. I love to talk about it. I feel really deeply for those kids. I think that's what this is all about. We can't like forget about that. In this, like you said, this whole YouTube trying to get a video out every single day on a case with no news. That is just silliness. But
Mhm.
I
What
think that
what
when people
what can somebody talk about on YouTube? I haven't watched, but I'm quite sure it's a billion videos. How can you make a 30-minute video on the Bakersfield taking over? Even when news reports come up and they say breaking news, that's a 6-minute segment. How can you get people there for an entire hour unless you're just going to rehash all the case all over again, which is what you did in the video the day before that, what you did in the video the day before that, and the day before that? Like, how do you? And you would spot me. You would know I'm lying. You would know I'm tricking you for money because I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to hold your attention that long on something over one sentence. You would instantly be able to call me out.
Yeah, but and I'm not accusing anyone of doing this, but just
Mm.
saying the longer that they're on, that's more donations and more whatever, like, what do you call those, super chats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe some people are motivated by the completely wrong things. I
Mhm.
love that you are only motivated by the victims. That is part of why I am so happy to have you here today, because I think it's important to spotlight people that actually care, that don't lie, that don't just put out whatever they hear. So thank you so much for that. There is another creator named Noor Jasmine, and she did a video called Follow the Money, talking about the Orrin and Orson West. She had some similar points to you, but
Mhm.
she's one that I really enjoy her videos, and you can tell she cares so much. It is interesting though that I mean, I know states are desperate to find homes for these children, but they don't even have to have like an income to take care of them. That's kind of confusing to me. I don't know.
Yeah, not just the Orson case, but doing the case I did on the Hart kids, these six adopted kids that were the family that adopted them ran them off of a cliff. Just they did another case on someone being adopted, but it just I grew up believing something that wasn't true. I grew up believing that I would never be able to adopt anybody because it's so hard in all the long process you have to go through. When in reality, it was the exact opposite. So it's kind of it's kind of sad of what they how easy it is to put a child in a bad situation after you knowing that they're already coming from a bad situation. So,
Yeah, or they wouldn't be there.
yeah.
I have one coming. I have a live stream with a victim's aunt on Sunday. She is actually
Mhm.
trying to start some new legislation to help them, put them in better homes, to pay closer attention when they do and stuff like that. It is I told you about it in our message, but her name was Victoria Smith. Her adopted mother was on the Food Network, and it was a
Hmm.
pretty big case with some interest in it. So I'm excited to have her on and maybe get some more eyes on her calls, because I think it's important, if we're going to adopt these kids out, let's pay attention to where we're putting them. It's
Yeah.
important.
I want to say too, like for clear transparency, I want y'all to check something out. Like I have 24,000 subscribers. The last 2,000 subscribers, I got 2,000 subscribers from making the Cali City Boys video. So I made one video and instantly jumped up 2,000 subscribers and got the most comments I've ever gotten on all of my videos. When people see success like that, it's hard for them to let it go. The first thought in their mind is, I need more videos on the Cali City Boys. I gotta jump on this momentum. I just got 2,000 subs. I'm blowing. So a lot of the time, that's why you see a YouTuber repeating the same case over and over and over again. It's hard for them to pull away from that and lose sight. Hopefully, lose sight on why you're here, unless that was the only reason that you're here. Um, it, a lot of people are going to give in to that, and it becomes less about their heart and more about their pocket.
Mm.
I haven't put out a video since then. I went live, which actually hurts you on your YouTube algorithm if you coming off success like that. And I'm still waiting to get all my stuff together to even talk about what happened to John Lord and Stephanie Harlow. I mean, I'm supposed to be in a rush to put out content as fast as possible once YouTube gets you in an algorithm when you're gaining subscribers like that. But I've done the opposite because I'm going to always follow my heart. And a lot of people aren't going to always do that.
Hmm. I think that we need to make a better effort as creators. I mean, I don't have many people on here, but regardless, to only put out stuff when we feel we have something to add, something valuable,
Hmm.
not just, to continue. Like, think the families that this has happened to, like the Watts family, they have to see this stuff all the time. If you're going to do something, make it at least like something new, something, add a different spin, take a new look at a case, something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but not just to do it because you want more views and more money. It's to the
So
point where people think YouTubers don't care about, because on my TikToks, people will say, "Oh, it's a YouTuber. They're just trying to get views." And I'm like, "No, that's not true. Some, yeah, but not all of them."
that's what I'm going to say and leaning towards in my next video is that like it's wrong what they did to Stephanie, it's wrong what they did to John Lorden, but you have to ask yourself why did they want to showcase YouTubers is doing this? What was the motivation behind what created the thought? They didn't create this thought out of thin air. They created this thought because there are actual people online that are doing this, that are exploiting cases of people who lost their lives in horrific ways. Uh, they're just, looking at the wrong people. And when you pick the wrong person, when you grab somebody who you probably chose Stephanie and John because they're large. And so you take a large person who has integrity, who doesn't do stuff like that, and you vilify them. Meanwhile, the new people who just came up making a billion videos about one case and exploiting it every single day, they go on scot free. They get to keep doing what you were upset about in the first place.
Yeah, that is so messed up to think about, because Stephanie, not because she's your friend, but just because she is so good. I mean, I know her song that she's like a sickness in the brain, that little coffee
Oh
and
yeah,
crime time thing.
yeah,
She is so good. And to have her as the person they chose to act like, she just, like I said, I remember her saying, "Guys, Shane Carey, we can't say he's guilty. Stop saying that just because he reminds you of Chris Watts." And they're going to use her as the example of people who do that. It's messed up.
yeah. I made a
I
video on Shane Carey too, saying I was trying to get people to not harass him, and because there's no evidence to show that he did it, and people left me nasty messages on that video, and you go back and now no one corrected it when they found out that he was innocent. They sent the lynch mob crew against this guy, and he didn't do anything at all.
mm, I heard you mention it, but I haven't seen that video. I'll go back and watch that. I
Mm,
wonder when that case is going to go to court. It's been forever.
yeah,
Well, I was going to see before we end, do you want to see if anyone has any questions? I
sure.
haven't been paying attention to the chat at all, just because I really wanted to hear what you
No,
had to say. And
no, you're fine. And any question you have is fine as well too.
okay, well, when are you going to put out more new music, so that we can support you in that?
No, that's it's my it's that's just something I do for passion, just for fun. It helps me get stuff off of my mind. I never like do it now, like to try to like be big or anything. I've already had my day when I was younger doing stuff like that. But I just do it for fun. It helps me. It's like therapy, I
Yeah.
guess, when I make songs and stuff. Or just that therapy in a way I just want to have fun. Like if you do a correlation for when I do like a party like song, it's me coming off of doing a really long, hard, true crime video, just trying to have fun. Someone said the Broussard case keeps getting delayed. Um, Fear
Pyramid.
Muska, I can't pronounce that. Is being held in jail.
And then Natalie asked, "I don't know yet about this book. There was a book, a YouTuber put out a video in December of I bet you're going to roll your eyes so big, but about
Mhm.
they used Randonautica, which is an app. It's like an adventure app, and
Mhm.
they claim to have found a book of shadows, like a spell book, which really does look legit. I've tried research. I've got some research I'm trying to do on that, but they said that they found pictures of Shanann and Chris Watts in the book. My last YouTube video, if you go to it and click the link, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was thinking about like contacting the police. And because if it's not true, it's messed up. You should not. But if it is, I don't know. So I don't know about the book yet too much. I'm trying to find out more about that. Dog died in your arms. Hey, John. It's a crime. Linda is great too. Yes, she is great. I love her.
What's
She
going
is
on,
so.
Rosalie?
Did you roll your eyes on that one?
Who, me? No, I don't roll
Yeah.
my
Huh?
eyes at stuff. No, I don't. I don't roll my eyes at stuff. I'm not. I'm not into like conspiracy theories and all of that stuff. A lot of people are. Even Stephanie likes conspiracy theories. So we joke about it all the time. Because soon as she brings it up, I'll roll my eyes at her. I'm like, oh, I gotta hear this stuff again. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how to be a businessman. I guess I suck at being a businessman because when I hear little piece, they're just like puzzle pieces, and I just like to wait for the puzzle to be done. Bakersfield taking over this case. All right, puzzle piece. All right, noted. Go on with my life. There's some books showing shenanigans. All right, puzzle piece. If something comes from it in the future, say something possibly, but like I just don't get excited for the piece of a puzzle. I just note it. I
Yeah.
don't. I guess as a business person on YouTube, if you want to, be successful at this, I guess they want you to comment on everything. But you're gonna laugh at me if I do. If I go out here and you see me update live, they just found the shoestring of the missing child at Pondu Lake. If you see me go live and I'm talking for an hour about the shoestring, you're gonna laugh because you're like, he's being so fake right now.
Yeah, and that's cool because some people are like natural skeptics. They don't believe any conspiracies. I don't believe a lot, but if it's something I'm like really interested in, it's hard not to like want to know more for me.
Mhm.
But some people believe all, I mean, look at I'm not going to get into politics and stuff right now, but conspiracy theories are like going over the top these days. And people, I think it's healthy if you remain skeptical and don't just believe, you know what I mean? You have to have a healthy amount of skepticism to look into that stuff.
I mean, if you like it because it's interesting, then, that's cool. That's awesome. Like I think that's what Stephanie, she loves conspiracy theories, but she don't talk about conspiracy theories on her video. That's just her as a person. On a video, she talk about the facts involved inside of a case. That like if you just, you know, as long as you don't put it out like as if this is true, because then you open
Right.
yourself up for critique and to be debunked.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. John mentioned doing the Adrian Jones case last year. Is that still a possibility?
Not on YouTube. It will be for another platform.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Um, he's a little boy that was starved and abused to death by his father and his stepmom. And they made him do horrific things. They made him stand outside for the entirety of the nighttime, holding tiki torches in the backyard until the sun will rise. They make him stand up in a bathtub in the shower all day long. I mean, he looked like he was a Jewish person at a Nazi camp when he died. They put him in a swimming pool when he was just skin and bones. Not just a regular swimming pool, but like a swimming pool that hasn't been kept for like years. So it's like green, slimy and stuff. And he's already skin and bones, and they threw him in, and they videotaped him, and they laughed at him. And he basically starved to death. And after he died, they fed him to pigs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all of this
You
is
know, I
on
never,
camera too.
oh my. I never realized, like, I don't think the everyday person realizes until you're trying to follow all these cases how much child abuse, how often it happens. I mean, almost every
Mhm.
day you hear of a new case of a child who's been tragically murdered from being abused.
You
It's horrible.
and that can go to show like that Adrian Jones case is solved, but there are children who are missing and went through something similar as Adrian Jones, and their family probably would love to have awareness on it, but they can't get that because you know the people have shown the money is in the Chris Watts, the Cali City Boys, the Lori Vallows, and they rather keep pushing that stuff out all the time every day than to help another child from going through these
Mm.
horrific things.
That's so horrible. I think you should you should start playing with your TikTok and make and do little TikToks. I think you have so much to add to the world. You just make it a better place wherever, and I would love to see what you would come up with over there.
I will. I just accept the fact that I'm a little old, so I need someone to show me how. I made a TikTok. I've never made a video. I do got a Jon Chrymes TikTok. Uh, and it's funny. I was telling you before I got on, like my nephew and little niece, they got like the number, like they got millions of followers on TikTok and been on celebrity shows and stuff. So maybe I'll get with them and ask them how to do some stuff there, or I'll ask Sarah Turney, what does she do to find success on TikTok and spread awareness for these cases.
Yeah, I think it's so much. You have just more reach over there. You're like able now. Don't get me wrong. Like Chris Watts, certain cases do better at times, not always, but also I've had a lot of success getting cases I have never heard about out there a lot more. And if you ever need help, all you have to do is message me. I'll help you with any of it. That learning to edit it, how you save it, just all of it. Hit me
Mhm.
up and I'd love to help.
I'll
Let's see.
take
I
you up
saw
on
a
that.
question for you. Um, John, do you know the little boy that vanished from school? His name started with a K. It was on Dr. Phil several times.
No, I never heard of him. Someone says Kyron Horman. I think
Okay.
it's possible people may have mentioned him to me because I got, a lot of people give me case updates in Facebook.
Oh, okay. What made you think of incorporating the assistant? I loved that twist.
The assistant came from it came from several ideas all at once. It came from the YouTuber that I look up to, like he just blows me away, and he he's supposed to do camera reviews. Um, I guess he would be me of the camera review world because I'm supposed to do true crime, but I end up turning it into way more bigger, larger than life, compelling things than just me talking. Instead of him just talking about a camera, he turns it into real movies and just watching him do it. And he had sort of an assistant robot, and I thought that was amazing. So then I mixed that with C3PO from Star Wars. I really like C3PO. He goes around called Luke Skywalker Master, and also people the compliment people will always give me is that I'm passionate. I put my heart into it. They say all these emotional things, and I'm like, hey man, I know my facts. I get my facts straight too. I'm an analytical person as well too, but they don't know me for that. So I'm like, well, maybe I can use another personality to pull out more facts and data and show that different side of me as well too. And
Ooh,
the
that's
first
cool.
time, yeah, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say the first time I did the robot voice, it was not on my channel. It was on Danielle Holland and John Lorden's podcast channel when they did their anniversary. I debuted Jean Chair Detective on there. If you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I love that too. At first, it took me a second to realize what they were talking about, but yeah, that adds such an interesting little twist to it. And like you said, it's like the analytical side. That's just I don't know. That
Mhm.
was really smart. And let's
Thank you.
see.
I didn't know how you guys were gonna take it. I was like, they're gonna think I'm crazy, man. They're not gonna like this.
I loved it. It was awesome. Hi, John and Alex. Alex, I do not think Cadle could find a more genuine. Thank you so much. She asked me if I wanted to start doing a live show, and I was so scared because I had reached out to her for an interview, for my TikTok when she had a new book coming out, and then I just find I wanted to do YouTube along, but it's really scary because TikTok you can easily edit stuff and it's quick. YouTube you I don't know, it's just scary. So I was trying to get into it. I'm happy that we did it though cuz it's pushed me through the door and now I'm here and I'm not stopping. I have so many different cases I've been working on. I just want to look into all of them. But
Yeah.
Sherilyn, she gets a lot of slack, but I from knowing knowing her personally, she is a wonderful, genuine person. She's interested in true crime like we are, and she's ready to move past the Watts case too, because it's toxic. The whole culture like around it, people get it's just really toxic. But
Yeah, you
as
gotta.
guess if
Yeah,
go
and
ahead.
so
I'm sorry.
no, it's saying like it's causing other people to get hurt. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And but I wonder, like, do you think, well, I mean, I have families reach out to me all the time asking for, like I told you before the show, and friends and stuff, and I do it. But I wonder the ones that haven't asked you. Actually, I did a story, I think it's on my YouTube, about this girl who was killed at college. Her name was
Hmm.
Molly. My TikTok's on the channel. But I got a comment that was like, "Hey, we are still hurting. Can you at least wait? Is it do you care about money that much?" Which I don't make any money from it, but whatever.
Hmm.
They asked me to wait, so I took it down. And I waited a couple weeks and I put it back up because why? If it's hurting them, I'm not keeping it up. No way. I don't care how much views, money, I don't care what it does. That's not the goal. The goal is to help.
Yeah,
So,
there's some people that they just don't. They're not gonna want you to say anything at all. Like I'm about to do one of my new ones is I'm working with the author of this book for one of my next ones, and when doing research and talking to the author, this woman, she threw her kids off of this bridge here, and the father, he's not going to talk to anybody ever, and no journalist, no television show, no documentary. He don't want to talk about anything. But the author of this book reached out to other family members that want this story to be shared. That they were glad she was able to bring awareness to the case. You just have to do it while being respectful of people, because he didn't have a
what's the name
problem
of the
with her.
book?
To the bridge.
Okay.
That's another
Cool.
thing too. Like you, when you was like asking for pointers about your channel, just don't be afraid to be told no. Just reach out to people. Like I never heard of her. I just researched all night and reached out to her and gave her my information, and she liked that I covered the case on the heart kids, and she's gonna work with me on doing this one. So you just reach out to people. Don't be afraid to be told no. That's the best advice I can give.
That's awesome. Well, that's what I did with you. And I
Yeah.
never expected you to say yes because I don't ask many people, but
Hmm.
I just look up to you a lot as a creator and I enjoy your content. And so I asked, and when you said yes, I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? Can I do
Hmm.
this? Even today, I was talking with a chick in here who she said I'm helping her with her TikTok, which I've been trying, but I was like, I am so nervous. Like, I don't know if I can even do this because I think, it's like that parasocial relationship. We see who we're watching all the time, but they don't see us. So
Hmm.
it's weird when it crosses.
I definitely understand what you're saying. I felt that way when I met Danielle Holland, and then at CrimeCon, and then when she agreed to let me interview her. Um, but I try to be the change that you want to see. There are people who I reached out to who just gave me the cold shoulder. So if I don't like that, then when people reach out to me, be the world that you want to see. Don't give them the cold shoulder. Spread that the same opportunity that you wanted and you didn't get. So I decided early on I'm not gonna base who I do an interview off of how many subscribers you have. I'll base it off of what I see and if you're a good person or not. So I saw that you was a good person, so I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Thank you so much. It's
Ain't no
been like
problem.
so fun and I appreciate it so much. Makes me want to cry. I just can't
No.
believe it because my dreams are coming true. And I say this all the time, but like 5 years ago, I was on heroin. I was like really struggling, and I got my life turned around, and I've always been into true crime, but when little things like this happen, or like even when Sherilyn did the interview, I just
Mm.
can't believe that people want to listen to what I have to say and stuff. I don't can't believe I'm even crying on here, but thank you so much.
Now,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
Like you'd be surprised how many people identify with you. How many people who you could be somebody could be watching you, right? And they could be like right at the end of their detox for heroin, and it could be itching, and they their family is gone and left them home alone, and they know that they can make a phone call and get it, and then they see that you're making big moves, they see that you're focused, they see that you're doing stuff, and see that you used to be like that, and just for them watching that one night where they got the opportunity to go buy and do it, they like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep moving forward. So you say that like everybody can see us, but we can't see them. Just I just use that information to be like it can be anybody watching me. It can be any scenario of where I can motivate and move somebody. So I'm gonna take that opportunity to do it.
I thought about that because when you're dealing with stuff like that, you're like so desperate that you don't think
Mhm.
it's possible for life to change. I mean, you really don't. And you don't see it much. I've seen a lot of people die, a lot end up in jail, but I haven't seen a lot like actually change. So I have one video where I touch on it, but I really want to incorporate that more on my channel. I want to do something that will help people like that. I just have not figured out what yet. I want to do so much, so
Mhm.
it's hard.
Um, Christina Randall is one of the biggest true crime YouTubers now. I think she got like 600,000 subscribers or whatever. It could have been easy for Christina to just turn away from her past. And she went to prison, and it just flows out of her mouth like she's saying, I went to the store last week. She is unapologetic about her past, and she uses that to raise awareness, and at the same time uses it to show people who've been to prison that you don't have to keep living that life. You can achieve greatness in anything that you're focusing on. She hits it head first, straightforward, and doesn't shy away from it. Like there's a lot of things that we're surprised that we have or we've gone through in life that can influence somebody, and this could be a way that you can influence. Another thing I want you to look
I
at
love
too.
her.
Yeah,
She is
Christina Randall,
wonderful.
she dope.
And
It's-
Terry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I do not want
no, you're
to,
fine.
I did not mean that other people don't change. I meant like the people I knew personally when I was using. I didn't see a lot of people get better. Now that I'm in recovery, I see lots of people in recovery. But while I was using, I didn't see that. And yeah, she was an addict. There's all kinds of people in here who have been addicted, which is really interesting and amazing. I'm proud of all of you guys. And Christina Randall, oh my God, I love her. She is just so entertaining. Just like
Yeah,
you said, unapologetically her, which is awesome.
yeah. I think you got a head start that you don't even realize. You may got a small YouTube channel, but you already got 20,000, some odd people on TikTok. That's a great head start to segue into doing other things too, because it's something new that everybody is using right now. So you got
Yeah.
the opportunity to have a really really big audience.
Well, I'm going to keep trying. And thank you so much for giving me the chance. And if I offended anyone in here, I did not mean to do that. I meant I didn't see people getting better when I was in that place. So please don't take it that way, because that's
Nah, you
the
didn't say
absolute
anybody.
last thing I want to do.
You didn't offend anybody. It's all good. Everything's all good, man. Um, Someone said, I say this in closing. I physically put myself into my cases. I just think that I record what everybody does. You watch Forensic Files, and um, some girl had too much to drink at the party, and the guy about to take her in the episode from the party and try to hurt her. You're gonna think about the time you had too much to drink in the party, and you're gonna think about how that could have been you. Everybody incorporates themselves in these stories when they hear them. I just have the opportunity that I can physically do it, and I think when I inject something that happened to me or a story in my past, I think that's when you guys think about what happened to you, and it draws you to relate to that story. So it's all about just being more relatable. That's why I do that. And it's never on purpose. I just talk and then I think of that thing that happened that was similar, and then boom, it goes into the story. So
You do. You can tell that you just have so much like empathy, which I think that, that word gets used all the time, but it really is rare. When I said that earlier, I meant it because a lot of people don't naturally look from the other person's perspective. I try to do
mhm.
that too, but I think that a lot of people forget to do that, you
Yeah,
know?
they do. They do, and you just gotta find. I just try to find a way to make them relate to it. It's something nobody really pay attention to, but every true crime case I've ever done, every documentary case, uh, there's a movie reference. There's a scene from a movie in every single one of them, as I relate what happened in that movie to what happened in the case.
That is funny. And thank you guys so, so much. Thank you, Karen. Thank everybody. If I missed your comment, I'm really sorry. And thank you for doing this with me. Maybe in the future we can do it again or something.
Yeah,
Or
whatever
you
you
can do
need,
a
I'm here for
panel.
you. Yeah, if I
I'm
do,
sorry.
yeah, I do panels on my page. I'll definitely include you on. And also another opportunity, I'm about to start doing directors commentaries on my stuff, so I can have you on one of the cases for the director commentary. So that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I would love to
Yeah,
do that. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great evening and thank you so much for doing this. And I'll talk to
anytime,
everybody soon.
anytime. Thank you
See ya.
guys. Mhm.
Bye. End broadcast.